Hey, how you doing? My name is Frank Denkins, and I'm a published author. I have a book out entitled My Undisciplined Life. You can find it on Amazon.com. I have another one that I've completed. It's called Spoken Words of Life. That one will be out this summer. It's a book of poetry, quotes, thoughts, short stories, things that make you think and look at yourself. I have another one that I'm working on. It's a Christian fiction. It's entitled Get Off the Treadmill, and it's going to be pretty interesting. We go through all the things we go through in life, ripping and running, trying to do this and that, but yet we're not making any moves, getting beat down, worn out, but yet we're in the same spot. When you look up year after year after year, the world may see you advancing, but spiritually, when it comes to above, you're in the same spot because you're putting the world first. But anyway, um, more to come on that. But I'm on here because I write a lot. A lot of people tell me, Frank, you should go on YouTube and put something out. A lot of people will give ear to that because what you're saying is the truth. I don't seek the glory. I pray that the Lord get all the glory and that I decrease and he increase, and that those who have ears to hear will listen. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a minister, not ordained or licensed, but we're all ministers of Christ, and I'm somebody who loves to study. That's what a good steward does. Not perfect, but I've gone through some things and I've learned quite a few things. One thing that I found that's very hard for us to do is to give up of ourselves, to deny ourselves for the Lord. Which brings me to a question. Have you truly denied yourself? Because if you have, not saying you won't go through some things, but those things wouldn't be going through you. No, we have to deny ourselves. We have to get past our selfishness. Now, this doesn't apply to a lot of people because a lot of people get it, but a great many don't. So again, you have to ask yourself this question and be honest. Have you truly given up of yourself for the Lord? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Remember, the Lord, He knows your heart. He said it in Jeremiah 17:9. It says, the heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it? He tries our hearts daily. He shows us who we truly are. It shows in your daily walk. So you can praise and shout and speak in tongues all day long. But your true action is in what you do, not the performance that you put on. And it has to be sincere and humbled. There was this rich young man, and he came to Jesus asking, what can he do to be saved? And Christ was like, why are you asking me? It's only one who is good. But then he told him, keep the commandments. Don't kill. Don't steal. Don't lie. Don't commit adultery, fornication. Honor thy father and thy mother. Love your neighbor. And the rich young ruler was like, hey, I do that. But here's the kicker. This is where selfishness kicks in. Get rid of all you have. All of your earthly possessions. All of what you feel are your riches. Give them up, sell them, get rid of them, and come with me because your true riches lie in heaven. We know the story. I can see him walking away holding his head down like, wow, he ain't want to do it. He loved what he had earthly more than heavenly. He seemed to be sincere in his questions to Christ, which he was, but he didn't want to give up of himself. If we as Christians if we as Christians were to believe, be honest, we will call out our own hypocrisy. We want to keep the world or parts of it and still be with Christ. We can't serve two. You can't do that. You cannot serve two. He said, choose one. That's it. Because when you try to choose two, that brings about confusion, deceit. Your perception is distorted. That's not the way to be, because God is not the author of confusion. Did you know if you hate your brother or sister, that's murder? Did not the word tell you to love thy neighbor as you do yourself? So maybe a lot of you don't like yourselves. You see, we must be completely empty of ourselves when it comes to Christ. We have to decrease. He has to increase in us. How? Study the word. Pray without ceasing. Fast. That's where you're going to get your strength. I've learned in life that true strength comes from when you have totally been beat down and you are just done with self. You know what I mean? And that's when he comes in and lifts us up. Now our true strength is revealed. One thing, I seen this thing on TV on the Animal Channel, and it was about this lizard being chased by these snakes. And it's just kind of going off the path for a minute. But this lizard was moving. This snake was coming. The lizard didn't know the snake was running him into an ambush. And when the lizard realized that, he was still, because he seen all these snakes around. But he kept looking up. He kept looking up. And he started running. And boom, right when he was turning, a whole pile of snakes just crashed on him. They getting caught up and wrapping up around him, but he kept looking up, and he just stood still. He didn't tussle or fight. He stood still. He kept looking up, and as soon as there was this much of a relax, he took off, went up the rocks, got up to the top. He got away. He kept his eyes on the prize. That's what we have to do. That's where our selfishness will go down, and Christ will rise up in us. It's a process. And yeah, it's hard, but only because we don't want to let go of what we love, such as sex, clubbing, cursing, fighting, hurting one another. It goes on. Colossians 3 tells us, and it breaks it down, how we are to be dead to sin. We have to seek